So are you afraid of Sadesati? Don't worry, I got you, my friend. Welcome to Master the Self. I am Neeraj Gosain, and we are combining astrology, Vedic astrology and spirituality together. Sadesati is a 7.5 year period when Saturn starts to give results of your karma. Most of it which is negative karma. That's why this 7.5 year period has got a reputation for being negative in anybody's life. So I'm going to shed some light on this topic. Once you will know the mechanics of Saturn and Moon, you will not be scared anymore. I can guarantee you. Rather, you will thrive in these times, because you need to try to listen what the Saturn is trying to tell you. So let's understand what is Moon. Moon is the fastest moving planet. It's also a watery, free flowing, creative planet. It signifies creativity, passion, emotions, caring, nurturing, etc. However, Saturn is a cold planet. It's known for giving the fruit of your karma. Saturn is quite far away from the sun. It is in the darkness and it is frozen cold. So when Saturn comes towards the moon is free flowing watery energy and Saturn is frozen cold. What's going to happen is the creativity, the thoughts are going to get frozen. Everything will freeze. That's why people have depression. The Saturn is giving you a message. The message is to turn within, is to slow down, is to see what you are doing in life, your thought patterns, what are you thinking, what your emotions are. Have you processed your emotions or not? Are you just always going with what your mind is telling you to do? Whatever your mind or your manas or your man tells you to do, you are just doing it without thinking any repercussions of those actions. So Saturn wants you to be stable. So if you will listen to the call of the Saturn, which is to turn within, which is to reduce your thoughts. If you don't do that, what Saturn is going to do? It will give you dukkha, suffering. Through suffering, you will have to forcefully turn within. That's when depression happens, or these kind of things happen. Psychosomatic disease, heartbreak, may lose your job, or something could happen. Saturn is trying to tell you, if you would start consciously, intentionally. I started to sit with myself. I started to meditate. I started to read spiritual books. The first spiritual book that I read was the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That completely opened my mind for infinite possibilities and gave me even a lot of other questions. Started kind of a hunger, a spiritual hunger in me. So I consciously started to meditate, and later on I started to do yoga. So that's how I changed. I started to write down my thoughts, started to do journaling sometimes. So these things helped me a lot, because I learned and listened. Most importantly, the call of Saturn is to turn within. Then Saturn started to reward me. Why? Because Saturn didn't want it to give me depression or any kind of suffering, because I chose my own suffering. So Saturn was eventually happy. Like, what? He is doing it on his own, then why do I have to even bring suffering on him? And I started to meditate daily. I started to learn about spirituality through books, audiobooks. This is the call of Saturn. I would say this is the call of the mystic. You need to listen to that call. If you are too much into materialism, which is absolutely fine, continue to be. However, take at least an hour for yourself, for meditation, just to sit daily. If you cannot do it for an hour, then do it for half an hour. in the morning when you wake up, and then in the evening or before going to bed. And if you do not know how to meditate, I am giving meditation sessions on Sunday. You can join live on Zoom, and you can check the description box. I have put the links below for my Instagram and everything. If you want to contact me, please go ahead. And if you have a guru in your life already, and if you can learn meditation from them, please go ahead, start to do it. If you are an atheist, that's okay too. Start to sit with yourself and just observe what is arising within you. Start to do it. Let's talk about those 3 signs where Sadesati is going on right now. First is Sagittarius. It's about to end. So let's just keep Sagittarius aside for the moment, because on next, it's like in a few days it's going to end on 18th of January. So let's just say Capricorn. The next one is Aquarius, where Saturn is going to transit next year. And the last one is Pisces. So Pisces will see the beginning of the Sadesati. So my message for the Pisces people is, when the Sadesati begins, the moon is 12 places behind your native moon sign placement, just behind the moon. So it's going to be in Aquarius from 18th of January. What happens is, when Saturn comes just one sign behind your moon native moon placement, it starts to give you some signs. It will make you choose. It will give you something new. In the beginning, it could look very lucrative, very, very good. You would feel happy that this is something new that I am receiving. However, you need to be very vigilant. If this thing is taking you away from the self, away from the truth, away from the call of the mystic, is to turn within, is to reduce your thoughts or not. And in the beginning, it's when Saturn comes just behind you, starts to warn you. It will also give you something. If you listen to that call, then it will help you going forward when your peak period will begin after 2.5 years. So it's going to help you at that time. Before it consume you, you should take it as a warning from Saturn that, hey, you need to stop and start to turn within, reduce your thoughts. How you do it? Some people can reduce their thoughts just by physical practice. Sometimes, yes. Some people can do it through meditation, journaling, and doing yoga, these kind of practices. So it depends upon an individual. But you need to remember that you need to slow down and assess your life. You need to take a mountaintop view of your life. What is happening? Where am I going? Where am I at right now? Is everything serving me or not? Am I able to speak my truth or not? So Pisces needs to be very, very careful. And if they can start pranayama, breathing exercises, meditation, then nothing like it. Yoga, take the toxins away from their diet. Like for instance, in my case, what I did was, I used to drink alcohol. I was not an alcoholic, but yes, sometimes I used to take alcohol, and I used to eat meat every single day, at least 6 times a week. So I never thought that I would be leaving these kind of things, especially non-vegetarian food. So what I did was, when that thing happened, I started to read Bhagavad Gita. Something started to change within me. I started to meditate, started to go out into the nature. I used to see little ants, animals like dogs and cows. Like, out of compassion, I started to feed them. After some time, I could see soul like I would see in a human. I could see that these creatures are alive. They can feel pain. And if the dog can feel pain, if a cow can feel pain, then maybe a chicken or a goat could feel pain too. Or not maybe, or definitely they could feel pain too, and they have that soul within them. Then I thought about leaving these kind of things, but still I was not able to because of social pressure and everything. But after some time, something happened within me, and one day a voice came into me which said, "Hey, you need to stop. You need to stop this. I can't take this anymore. I can't eat an animal anymore." And just like that, I flipped. I think it was the grace of the Lord or the Guru within me that I got such power that I could leave the toxins and the animals, the meat and everything, the alcohol, me. And once I started to do that, it started to help me. I came out at that depressed phase. I was not able to voice out earlier my wants or my boundaries. Then everything started to come out effortlessly. If I needed to assert a boundary, I was able to do that. If I didn't like anything, I would communicate it to the other person in a proper manner. So these changes started to begin in my life because of these spiritual practices, because I listened to the call of the mystic Saturn. After Pisces, I would say for the Aquarius people, you need to listen very carefully here, because your peak period is coming on 18th of January. What happened was that everything slowed down, and because I was already meditating, there was a momentum that I was carrying from the earlier period, the first period. Everything slowed down. Where I was, I felt stuck in my job. I knew that I am not made for this job, but I could not move out because I have to pay off that karma. I couldn't move out. I went deep into spiritual practices. I started following brahmacharya. Then I came out of a toxic relationship, because once you leave these kind of toxins through your food, you stop consuming bad media, you stop consuming these things, you start to focus on yourself, then even the toxic people will go out of your life. So I came out of that toxic relationship. This is what's going to happen. You will feel kind of stuck, but what will make you through that period is these spiritual practices. I never thought that I would be teaching astrology. I would become a Vedic astrologer or a yoga teacher or a meditation teacher. But these things started to come to me because I turned within. When you turn within, this is a different topic, little different topic. Your Ketu is something, the south node is something which you have mastered your abilities from your previous lives. So it opened up that possibility within me. These things started to get activated. And then the Ketu tells Rahu, your life path, your obsessions, your desires, that what you need to do. Then I started to get the idea that what I need to do. You will also get these kind of ideas. But still in the peak period, you could feel stuck wherever you are. How I got out of it was through letting go, was through love and devotion for God, and was most importantly surrendering to what is happening around me. I was grateful that I had such a great job. It enabled to pay my bills, take care of me and my family. Because of my gratefulness, and I started to not despise my job, even though I didn't like what I was doing. That was such a monotonous work, and that was the idea of somebody else I was following, which I didn't believed in. So I was just grateful. So you need to be grateful. Aquarius people, wherever you feel stuck, any situation, you need to be grateful. And you need to surrender and tell Saturn that, hey, I'm open to what you are here to teach me, and I'm open to learn. So allow life to teach you. Be open. Receive the messages from the universe. What is the universe, the energies around you trying to tell you? Once you will open up to these kind of possibilities, you will you will churn out a lot of negative karma flawlessly, like water. And the main thing is that you need to go within. Start to journal, start to meditate, start to teach people, start to give your energy for people who are in need, people who are below your level in terms of anything. And you can help people with your energy, with your money, with your anything. This is one of the best remedy, and the main remedy is meditation. I'm teaching meditation on a donation basis every Sunday evening. You can join that. The links are in the description. You can DM me on Instagram and I'll send you the Zoom link. Aquarius people, even the Capricorn people, need not to be worried about that. Sadesati is not that intense. If your moon is placed in Capricorn or Aquarius, it is not that intense for you guys. Why? Because it's happening in Saturn's own house, so you need not to worry that much. But still, you need to listen to the call of the mystic, call of the Saturn. This is the most important thing if you want to take out from this video. And for Capricorn people, it's going to be the last phase, is last 2.5 years of Saturn's Sadesati. So it could be just psychological. You could have been progressing, but that progress could be mostly internal, not external. But always remember, we always grow first from within. Any thought or any physical thing that you see around you, once that physical thing was only a thought in somebody else's mind. So if you have listened to the call of the Saturn, if you have worked hard, and if you have grown internally, you can feel it, you know it, then I'm telling you that you will be growing like anything once this period starts to come to a close, or maybe even now, because Saturn is going to give the fruit of your actions in Aquarius. If you have worked hard, then yes, you are going to receive those fruits. It all depends on your action, what you have done when it was in Capricorn from the last 2.5 years. And you have seen what Saturn has done when it came, I think in January 2020 in Capricorn. It started to meditate. Saturn was meditating, and it has changed everything in the world. And it's even going to make a huge shift when it's going into Aquarius. We'll talk about the Aquarius age and the role of the Saturn in some other video. And if you want to join my meditation session, the links are below. You could feel stuck. You could also feel that you're not getting any creative ideas. But just stick to it. Have faith and stick to what you are doing. Stick to your physical and spiritual practices. Merge them. Have faith and surrender. And Saturn will give you the fruits of your actions. And if you will follow the call of the Saturn, I guarantee that you are only going to win in life. And you will look back at this period as I do. When my Sadesati got ended, it gave me a lot of fruits. It made me Saturn made me a yoga teacher. It made me a meditation teacher. I was able to leave my corporate job. So I started to follow my calling in life because of that Sadesati. So I am grateful to Saturn. So be grateful to Saturn, whatever it is bringing. Allow Saturn to teach you. So I'll see you in the next video. Keep supporting this channel by liking this video. You can comment and you can share this video with your friends. And also you can donate. You can see the donation details in the description. Until then, master the self.